this here is my 2009 WRX. That video collage that we posted was the engine assembly process. And ever since we put the engine together, I consistently have a P0021, which is a Bank 2 cam over advanced code. Nothing that I've done has made any difference. And I actually tried checking the pressures coming out of the oil control valve hole without the oil control valve in there to make sure that we're getting good pressure to it. And everything there seems to be good. So my next step is I'm going to tear this thing all the way down. I finally got them to agree to send me out a warranty head. The next step is this engine is going to come back out, and we're going to replace that head with a warranty head, and hopefully that takes care of the situation.
So we finally have the engine out, and do a quick walk around of the engine here just to show what it looks like, how pretty much everything on this engine is still connected aside from the front serpentine system, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead here and take off this EGR tubing to get it off the back of the head. Really, the next little bit of this video is just going to be breaking down the components that are attached to the head so that the head can be removed off of the engine. And there are several other pieces that'll have to be taken off, including timing. The intake has to be at least loosened so that it can be moved up and down. I don't want to take the intake all the way off because that's a challenge. And then the exhaust will have to come off. In the course of this last year that I've actually, had and driven this vehicle, chasing this problem, I have had this timing down, I don't know, like 5 or 6 different times. At first I was convinced, okay, well, you have this timing code, this timing over advanced code, so maybe you got the timing wrong. Maybe it's off a tooth or something like that. So at first I took and tore the timing down and ultra confirmed the timing, because I retimed it. I got everything back together. I spun the engine around by hand and my marks were off. So for confirmation, I did it again. So I took down the timing another time and I retimed it. And at that point, I was skeptical as to whether or not the marks on the belt that I got were correct, because I've seen that before. Actually, believe it or not, the belt that's on there now, the marks are incorrect. So I took and I found out exactly how many teeth were supposed to be in between each timing mark. And I actually went and marked the belt myself based on the information that I found. I don't remember exactly what it is. I can't spout those numbers to you right now, but I took and I found those numbers and I got it in time, and I confirmed that. I checked multiple sources to make sure that those measurements were correct, and retimed it again. No change. Absolutely no change. So I went and my next go was like, okay, well, what is actuating these gears to adjust timing? And it turned out that it's the oil control valves. So I took and I bought aftermarket oil control valves from the parts store. Well, I put those in and they made no difference. So back to more research. According to a lot of people, the aftermarket ones are no good. Well, I don't know if that's a select group of people, but all the Subaru forums are like, oh, well, that's your problem. So I go and I buy OEM oil control valves. Slap those on there. Because at this point, I have brand new OEM AVCS solenoids. Everything OEM that I could get, I got. And that rang true for pretty much the entire original engine build. So at this point in time, I'm chasing down other things. So I took and I installed those oil control valves. Again, no change. And at that point, I'm kind of at a loss. And from research, people are saying, okay, well, there's banjo fittings that are oil restrictors that go into the feeds for those oil control valves. Maybe they're not allowing enough pressure. So I go and I buy the banjo fittings, brand new from the manufacturer, put them in, no change. I am convinced, 100% convinced at this time, that the problem is in the head. So that brings us to current. That's where we're at now.
It's down now. Oopsies. That was way fucking heavier than I thought.
So just for clarification on what I'm about to do here, I'm going to mark these caps just for identification so I can put them back in the exact same position, because if they get moved, they mess with the clearances, and I don't want that to be a Oh, well, this is the problem when they go to actually inspect this head. So, mark those things. So here I am getting ready to take the head off finally. And Austin's just helping me steady that engine.
So it's kind of hard to get what I want to do on camera here just because the angle is weird. But basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to remove that gasket. I'm going to remove this oil feed line. I'm going to remove the
cam sensor.
I'm going to remove the ground strap. Basically everything I have to change off of this onto the new head is going to be taken off. We've got that broken down, all back together, put inside the box, ready to go back for the warranty, and the brand new one down on the ground, ready to go back up onto the vehicle engine. But yeah, so that was the main test, really, getting a new one here, getting everything ready. I'm hopeful, very hopeful. So that's it for this video. Decided to stop it here at the end where I have the two heads. I'm going to continue on. We've already recorded the other parts of the video. I'm just trying to break it down into easy to digest parts. But stay tuned for the next one.